Hello, everyone. A very warm good morning, or good afternoon, or evening, depending on whenever you're watching this. So, before we get into today's lesson, let me have an answer to this question. So, the question is which month? We have 12 months. So, which month has 28 days? You can answer this. I will reveal the answer at the end of this lesson video. Okay, now there's another question and an answer just below it. What is a sentence? You may have heard about this a lot of time. A sentence is a group of words that expresses a meaningful idea, right? And a sentence is generally complete in itself. Now, when we say complete, what are we meaning? We're meaning that it has a subject and a predicate. Predicate means words that follows the verb, and usually we don't have any what or usually what or who type of question after the sentence is set. So a sentence is a group of words that conveys means expresses a meaningful idea. There are different kind of sentences. For example, like the sun rises. Okay, there's an s here because sun is singular and we need singular verb. The sun rises from the east. Are you okay? Tidy the room. So in these three sentences, the meaning is complete, right? And therefore we can call it a sentence. Now, we have to note this thing down in our notebook and remember, there is an S after the word rise. The sun rises. Okay, so in this table, you can see two columns here: clause and phrase. Now, clause, don't get confused with it. Clauses are sentences, but a clause can be of two type. It can be an independent clause or a dependent clause. Independent means a sentence is complete, it's a meaningful sentence. Dependent clause, on the other hand, is not a sentence because it has to have another clause to make it independent. So that's the meaning of clause. And on the right hand side you can see phrase. A phrase is simply a group of words without a subject and verb component. That means a phrase can be like a noun phrase which don't have a verb in it. Like a verb phrase will not have a subject to it, because if there is a subject and a verb, generally we call them clauses, right? And a clause can be of two types: independent and dependent. If it's an independent clause, it's a complete sentence. I hope you are understanding these things, right? A phrase is a group of words without a subject and verb in the unit, and a clause is a group of words which has a subject and a verb, but it has two types. One is independent and the other one is dependent. Now, let us get to the today's lesson. It is called conditional sentences. We have already discussed this a few times, and we're going to do it again as a revision and as to study this time deeper. So today, it will be just a simple introduction. So if you can see that there are two sides, right? If clause and main clause. So if clause means condition meaning that something will happen after that, so that is called if clause, and main clause will be the result, and main clause means it's a complete sentence. Okay, now the location, the site can shift. Main clause can come first and if clause can come later, and vice versa. So we have some examples here. If we don't leave now, so if, because of that word if, we call it conditional clause, sometimes called as if clause. So if we don't leave now, we will be late. Unless we leave now, we will be late. Unless is another form of negative don't. So if you don't want to write don't, you can use unless there instead of negative word. And you see that there are two parts. We will be late. This is a main clause. It has a subject, a verb, and it is complete. If we don't leave now, although there are subjects and verb, but it is not complete, because if we don't leave now, then what will happen? We want to know, right? So therefore, it is called dependent clause. Now, likewise, you can see it below. We will be late if we don't leave now. So the sides of main clause and conditional clause can change as well. Now, in general, there are only four conditional clauses, and today I want everyone to note them down in your notebook, right? Or every slide that I've shared in this video, everyone is supposed to note them down. So, zero conditional is used when you are talking about truth and universal facts, things which always happen and has the same result. For example, if you heat ice, it melts every time, right? Then we have first conditional. First condition means there is a possible situation in the future. So something can happen if the condition is there. Like if it rains, we will cancel the trip. Now, canceling the trip depends all upon whether it rains or not, and even if it's rain doesn't mean that we are going to cancel the trip for sure. So we call that first conditional clause. Then we have second conditional clause, which talks about unlikely situation, meaning situation which is very rare to happen, which sounds like impossible, right? Unreal. And then the last one is third conditional. Third conditional means we're talking about and imagining a different past there. Okay, so everyone is supposed to make 10 sentences. Okay, there's an S after the word sentence here as well, using if clause, conditional clause. I've shown you four different conditional clauses, so you can use any one of them and make as much sentences as you can. The minimum limit is 10, and share your work to me as a part of your today's homework. And in the next class we will get a little bit deeper and discuss the four types of conditional clauses. All right, that's it. Thank you everyone.